So the oil companies, why aren't the oil companies putting more oil out? Well, it's a couple of reasons, and none of those reasons have to do with Joe Biden. None of them. Even though it was Joe Biden that said when he was running that he was going to put oil out of business. Here's the flashback. Cut 3, please.
No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period.
Since Russia has started amassing troops on the border, we've seen a $2 increase of gas prices. So we know where to put the blame on the war. But oil companies, they have oil refineries, they have responsibility too. So this is basically a bit of a, hey, we want you to act. It's time to act. We have done our part with the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. We are calling on them to do the right thing, to be patriots here, and not to use the war as an excuse or as a reason to not put out a production, to not do the capacity that is needed out there.
Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. First of all, you notice the sleight of hand there, which is now it's no longer the war that is doing it. It was the beginning of the amassing of the troops on the border, which is changing the timeline by months and months and months and months, when they themselves were saying, at the beginning at least, that they did not expect a full invasion. Ukraine was saying they did not expect a full invasion, but we're to believe that all of the oil price gains from that moment forward are going to be applied to the Putin price hike, despite the fact that in the chart, which we've released here from this program, you can see very clearly what the price hike was, which was a slight deviation for a very short period of time off of the already increasing line that had been going on for quite a long time. This, in addition to the fact that, as you hear there, they ran their entire campaign on punishing oil companies and saying how we were going to transform the economy away from fossil fuels. They bragged about it to their supporters from the Democratic primary, from the debates, to fundraise to environmentalists over and over and over again. They said one of the most prominent things they did on the very first day in office were multiple environmental executive orders to restrict drilling. They did all of that, and then now they're claiming the exact opposite. It's incredible.
All right, so it's not just that. I mean, first of all, you're exactly right on all of those things. And in fact, if you listen to John Kerry, who's our climate czar, he talks about oil in a completely different way. He says we don't need to go back to oil, as if we've all agreed that oil is a bad thing. Here's John Kerry. Listen to this.
And energy security worry is driving a lot of the thoughts now about, we need more drilling of gas. We need more drilling of this. We need to go back to coal. No, we don't. We absolutely don't. And we have to prevent a false narrative from entering into this, or again, pun intended, we are cooked.
So we definitely don't have to do that. And you know what? It's not as bad as everybody thinks. Here's our energy secretary, cut 5.
But if you were in Brazil, you'd be paying the same amount for gas at the pump, over $5. If you were in Canada, you'd be paying over $6. If you were in Germany, you'd be paying over $8. So
we're talking about the United States,
around
though.
The world.
We're talking about the United States right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we were living in Brazil, you know what gas would cost if we were all living on the moon? Now, I live in America right now, and I'm used to, having energy plentiful, because that's what made us successful. That's what made us the leader in the world. Cheap energy. But if we were living in Brazil, which none of us are, if we were living in Brazil, we'd be paying the same prices we're paying right now. So, and they've got beaches, and bikinis and everything else. So how could it possibly be bad? Now, here's what's really going on. The one thing that they are doing their best to hide from you. Joe Biden made it very, very clear, no secret at all, that when he's president, he would stop all oil and gas, period. It's his words. Play the beginning of that flashback again for me. Listen.
No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period.
Since.
Okay, got it? No ability for the oil companies to drill, period. By the way, if he's doing everything he can, he just yesterday passed on another chance. Another auction was canceled for drilling sites. Here's what the truth is. It's not just Joe Biden doing this. This is the stakeholder ESG war. Listen to this. Vivek Ramaswamy, he came out with an op-ed about a month or two ago, and it bears returning to. The world's most influential impact investor had its desired impact. Before the proxy battle, Exxon had planned to increase oil and gas production by 25% over the next 5 years. Okay, got it? They're going to expand oil and their output by 25%. However, BlackRock controls so many votes and so many shares of Exxon that they waged a war against the board of directors, and they put two environmentalists on the board of directors. As soon as that proxy battle was over, what did Exxon do? They planned to keep oil output at the lowest level in 2 decades, a 20% decline from former forecasts. So they were going up by 25%, and after BlackRock got involved, they went down by 20%. ExxonMobil used to be an oil and gas company, but now BlackRock is guiding the company, and it's over. Royal Dutch Shell is now facing the same problem. BlackRock is the company's largest shareholder. So what are they going to do? Well, they have come out and said Shell has too many competing stakeholders, not shareholders, stakeholders. If you've read my book on ESG and the Great Reset, you know what that means. A stakeholder means the government, means the towns, means the country, means the world, everybody but you and people who are actually shareholders. So Shell has too many competing stakeholders pushing for too many different directions, resulting in an incoherent, conflicting set of strategies attempting to appease multiple interests but satisfying none. You know who they should appease? They should appease their shareholders, the people who actually own the shares, not the proxy shareholders like BlackRock. They should also do what's best for their company. Some shareholders, they say, want Shell to invest as aggressively as possible in renewable energy, while others want Shell to give a priority to returns on capital from its legacy oil and gas business. So what are they doing? They're talking about breaking Shell up into 2 companies. One, the Green Dream Company for the future for BlackRock, and the other, the old legacy oil and gas. Where is the oil and gas company going to get any money from investors if BlackRock has already destroyed Exxon for that? Hello? This is what is truly happening. This is why I wrote the book, The Great Reset. If you haven't gotten it yet, will you please pick it up? Share it with your friends, because everything is changing because of this. And your state treasurer, the state treasurer of West Virginia, the state treasurer of Utah are probably the 2 best right now that are working. And there's other treasurers that are working on it. These 2 come to mind as some of the best ones that are working on ESG. They are taking the money out of BlackRock and any other investment firm that is basing their investment on ESG. It's got to stop. They are using your money to kill our country. If it wasn't for your money, this is blackmail. If it wasn't for your money, literally your money, they couldn't pull this off. But we're invested in the 3 biggest investment firms. So all of our money from our 401ks, they're all in these 3 big firms. So what do? Well, the first thing your state should do is pull back their proxy votes. Do not allow these ESG companies to have the votes behind your shares. The second thing that has to happen is you have got to get your money out of these firms. You need to vote for state treasurers that understand this and are working hard to kill it. If you are a state treasurer and you don't yet know what to do, call the state treasurers that are doing something about it. Call the guy in West Virginia. Call the guy in Utah. Call anybody that is doing something that really, truly understands what you're facing. Because no matter what, Joe Biden is directly responsible. You know, last night I showed you some of the things that they are planning to do and how the SEC is now getting involved in this, and how our government is not writing the ESG scores and writing the laws on how to regulate these companies for climate control. That's all being done by an offshore group, an international offshore group. We looked into who is funding it. It is terrifying. These people know exactly what they're doing. They know who they serve. And what a surprise, it's not just the usual suspects. It's also a group of dark money funders run by the former head of the Clinton initiative. Wow. So as we're punished, as we're dying, the Clintons and others are getting rich. You got to get up on speed on this because your country is slipping away quickly.